So this is Junk Journal January 2023 with Meg Journals, and I am following the prompts. It's a 31-day prompt. So in this video I'm doing days 1 through 7. I'm finishing up this cover by trimming it, adding some lace, and using the 3-in-1 vegan glue for this so that the fabric will be intact, and it's not going the way that I want it to go. So I did another unconventional move. I'm going to glue it down here. I've taken some acrylic paint and I've painted the edges because at first I thought I could tolerate that green, and then I didn't like how the green was peeking through on the edges. It made it feel like it was not complete. So I let that dry for a while, and this is what I came up with for my cover. It's just a simple shirt that I've cut apart and some pieces of lace that I've glued on, and I just glued it down to a book cover that I took the guts out, which I am committed to reading the book. I have decided that whenever I take a book apart, I'm going to try to read it, unless it's really not a good title. But that's what it's looking like with my diamonds. There, now I'm starting on day 1, which is resolutions. I'm not big on resolutions because to me it's a commitment, and I probably should just think of it as an idea instead of a commitment. But I'm really big on, if I say I'm going to do something, that I have to do it. And so I don't like to put it out there that I'm going to do something if I'm not going to do it. And I don't know, it's probably backwards thinking, but what I ended up doing was just thinking about trying new concepts and new ideas for junk journaling for this year, and that I can commit to. And I'm really happy that I am doing it with Meg from Meg's Journals, because I really like her style. And I'm trying to pick up on it and figure out how to not really master it, but just to work it into my the way that I do journaling. So it does fit into my day 1 page resolution, because my resolution is to learn more techniques and more styles of journaling and junk journaling, because there's so many people with different techniques out there. I'm so happy that Junk Journal January 2023 is a great opportunity for a classroom experience. And what I mean by that is that we all can just envision ourselves in this classroom where we're all sharing with each other and learning from one another. And so that is helping me to focus on this page 1 as I'm doing this. That's what I'm thinking of, how I'm going to be learning new things, and how other people are preparing their pages and using the prompts. And we all have the same prompt, and we're all going to come up with maybe similar, maybe totally different, maybe just having fun. And that's how I'm thinking about this, because we all can have days when we have off days, and we just don't have it there with the creativity, or who knows, maybe it's anything. It's just getting on with the day in a positive way. So just like journaling is a way to, you don't have to write it down. You can just create something, and it may not be your best, and that's okay. Just because me personally, just because I'm doing it, it's fun. And I decide, you know what, this doesn't match 100% to the page to the left, but I'm going to keep that in there because it's still reflecting the creativity of what I had as I was working and digging through my tools and all my stuff in my room. Not tools, just my supplies. Now I do end up covering this, and it's not because I want to hide it. It's because I really liked the picture of the little girl's hand, and it ends up working right into prompt number 2, day number 2, without me even realizing it. So for day number 2, I didn't record it, and I'm going to go right into day number 3. I think day number 2 is self-explanatory. When you see in the end, I'll give you a little flip through and you'll see. But for day number 3, the stained, I had a little problem coming up with something. I wanted it to be, because again, I want to challenge myself and not always make it easy, but I don't want it to be so difficult that it's not fun. So for the stained part, I initially thought I would do splatters, and then I was like, come on, Joanne, you can do better than that. So I just decided, you know what, just start collaging all over the papers, a page here, and then you'll come up with something. And what I end up coming up with is a paper that I had, it was a digital that I had in my little supply on my desk, and it had been water stained, and the ink just did this staining to it. And I took that and I was like, you know what, this is stained, I can work with this. And that's how easy, if you don't like freeze up your brain and say, oh, I don't know what to do, I mean, that helped me. And you'll see when I finish this page how it all fits in. I think it fits in anyways. And as they say, it's my book, right? Your book is yours, mine is mine. So I have a lot of papers that I'm trying to use up. Like boxes of little papers that are here and there. I have too many. And I threw away some, but my other goal is to try to really do a lot of collaging and use up some of these papers. And one problem that I've been having is I'll take one and I'll cut that paper off, and then I'll end up keeping that little paper. Well, I'm trying to throw that little paper away, even though, unless it's got a really unique color or my favorite color. So I'll try to get rid of these little pieces of papers. Like, for example, right here, that little box, I have quite a few of those. But this is collaging and working on the other side of the page here when I take a break from the left side, page 3, because when I get stumped, then I just try to take a little break from it. And then if you do that, then I feel like it frees up your creativity again. So while I'm doing this and working through this, I will put a little bit of music on so you don't have to listen to me yammering on, and hopefully you'll enjoy this process and watch and see what I come up with. So this is that stained paper, and I'm at first trying to figure out how and where to put it, and I want to use the whole thing, and I want it to stand out because after all, that's what the prompt is, right? But no, it doesn't have to be that way. And one other thing I wanted to say was I started using the Yoo-hoo stick, the glue stick, instead of using the beacon glue as much as I usually do, because it seems like it's freeing. I used to use the Yoo-hoo, the very large one, and I found that it was difficult on my wrist to always be using that. But the smaller one, it's so much better. I don't know, there's something about it. And just a little note about the stick, and it does seem to be one of the ones that I think I don't see Meg using anything else but a stick. And not that I'm trying to copy every single thing that she's doing in her videos, but I did pick that one thing up from her that I really am employing now because it's been nice. And the other thing I like is that I don't get the glue all over my fingers, and then my fingers peel. The skin peels right off of them. But back to this prompt. Here I am. I have this little tiny piece of fabric that I should have probably thrown away, but I just find a little spot for it on this page too. It's funny. It's funny and it's fun. So this is wrapping things up for this page. It took a while for me to talk you through this page, but I think I like it. So I'm just adding some splatters using this watercolors, and as soon as we get those on, I lift it up and then I go and put it away and let it dry, and that is done. Now for the tag. I made this tag very simply with some embossed paper, a magazine clipping, and I'm testing to see what I want to put on there, and I end up putting just some words that I clipped out of a magazine as well, and I backed it with some muslin. So I sewed a little blue bow with some lace on the top, and just backed that with some tea-dyed paper and called it a day on that. So I go back and I do some stitching and add that to the page, and the dried splatters, I like how it looks, and I moved on, calling let's see, day 2 and 3 and 4 done. So I did not record day number 6. I moved on and started on shimmer. Now shimmer, to me, I had thoughts of something that's really shiny, and I had looked at one person's Instagram that had a picture of flowers, and then in the middle it had some glitter in the center of the flowers, and I thought that was really cool. And I so far have tried to use my own imagination and create mine before I start looking at other people's, unless I get really stumped. With the stained, I had looked at a few, and they were really, in the beginning I saw some really beautiful ones on Instagram, but I like to do it on my own first, unless I can't think of anything. So my thoughts was to use something that was glittery, and I have this Christmas card, and I am recycling it. that my friend gave me. At first I felt a little bad about cutting it, but it's going to be in the journal, so it's all good. Yeah, so this star it's not, I'm not sure if you can see it as well on camera, but it's really very shiny and glittery. And it had some nice red to the border, and I figured I would start doing something with red. Now, sometimes it's hard to find red around my desk in my papers unless it's Christmassy. It's not one of the colors that I always work with, but I did find a few pieces, and one of them was that piece there that I'm gluing on, and it had a little bit of gold in it, and so that got me thinking. And this page had Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. The music sheet was Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and I thought, this is perfect because this is a star, and it says like a diamond in the sky, and it I can think of as sparkling and shimmer, so it's perfect. It's coming along. It's coming together perfectly. I'm not sure about if the collage is coming together perfectly, but I just keep going with it. And I have the dotted, I call it dotted Swiss embossing paper that I laid down. It covered up most of the music, and I wanted to find a way to keep the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star still there. So I took this coffee dyed tissue paper that I had laying around, and you can still see the words poking through it. So that was what my goal was. So then I'm still fishing around for other pieces of red or something that will help me, and I find this that has a little bit of orangey red, and I guess I originally had cut it out for the sentiment on the back, but I decided to glue this down right here, and it just made sense to me, so that's what I did. Yep, so that's how that went. And then the gold polka dots. Bingo, there it is. So there's my day number 7 in the books, and I will show you all of the pages together. I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.